나타납니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the 15th day of May, which means Happy Teacher's Day! Yay! 행복하게. A teacher often has many roles in a student's life, right?
Yeah. You know, when it comes to following maybe a student's passion, teachers, they help the students find difference between right and wrong. And if needed help, you know, they would provide support for them to overcome all kinds of challenges, just like a best friend.
Yes, and unfortunately, in a recent survey, 8 out of 10 teachers said they would not choose to teach again, even if they were born again.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's unfortunate. That just goes to show you how tough the job is, right?
Yeah.
But don't forget, you know, we all might be able to inspire someone with even kind words, even if we're not teachers. 다시 말하자면, Happy Teacher's Day.
참 어렸었지 뭘 몰랐었지 설레는 젊음 하나로 그땐 그랬지 참 느렸었지 늘 지루했지 시간아 흘러 그땐 그랬지 시린 겨울 맘 졸이던 합격자 발표 날에 부둥 켜안고서 이제는 고생 끝 행복이다 내 세상이 왔다 그땐 그랬지 참 세상이라 만만치 않더군 사는 건 하루하루가 전쟁이더군 철없이 뜨거웠던 첫사랑에 쓰렸던 기억들도 이젠 안주거리 땀에는 세상이 무너진다 모두 끝난 거다 그땐 그랬지 참 옛말이라 틀린 게 없더군 시간이 지나가면 다 잊혀지더군 참 세상이라 밤새워 뒤척이며 잠 못 들다 훈련소 입소졌나 술잔 나누면서 이제는 남자라 어른이다 다시 시작이다 그땐 그랬지 시린 겨울 맘 졸이던 합격자 발표 날에 두둥켜 안고서 이제는 고생 끝 행복이다 내 세상이 왔다 그땐 그랬지 철없이 뜨거웠던 저 사랑에 쓰였던 기억들도 이젠 안죽거려 나는 세상이 무너진다 모두 끝난 거다 그땐 그랬지
Oh, I do love this song. 그땐 그랬지 by Carnival.
네.
Both
Both of us don't know the lyrics to the song.
Is that no, we don't. But I think it's better that way because then we can use our mouths for instruments.
Yeah.
Na 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 na. It's like one of those. It's like a song from an 80s sitcom or like romantic comedy movie.
Little bit.
Yeah.
그 느낌 조금 나긴 나요. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome.
That's our little spiel on
Welcome to the show.
in an opening song.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
6:14 on the clock. It is Monday, the 15th of May. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Minsu Shin. Happy Monday and Happy Teachers
Happy
Day.
Teachers Day from Inside Out Busan, from all of us.
To all
And
the teachers out there.
Yes, to all the teachers. Do you know what? Teachers by profession or just teachers in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be a teacher at school to be
Yeah.
called a teacher.
Exactly.
Right? There's mentors out there who I'm sure their disciples are very thankful. Wait,
Disciples?
what are they?
Mentees.
Mentees, right?
Not
But a
as
disciple
delicious.
works too.
I feel like that's getting in a little bit gray area.
Really?
Disciples, yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah, maybe. Whatever.
It tells me a little bit more about your background. I'm grateful for that. Brandon and Aiden name texting in. I just lost it. Where'd it go? Saying, "Hi, Inside Out Busan. How are you? We're lovely, fabulous as always. How are you?
I'm good. How are
No,
you?
not you.
Oh, sorry.
How are you? As in Brandon and
I
Aiden.
thought you were asking me.
Also, how are you? You.
Are you asking me now?
Yeah,
Oh, no, now I'm
asking you.
good.
Good. Okay. By the way, if you've not seen us already, we're on YouTube.
Yes, we are.
So go to BEFM or 부산영어방송's YouTube and check our faces out. But Brandon and Aiden Neem says, my most beautiful favourite teacher, Laura. Forever I love you and thank you so much, Inside Out Busan. Thumbs up, dang, dang, dang.
Yeah.
Happy Teacher's Day.
So a lot of people are probably getting
My
these
favourite
messages.
teacher! I always remember Jade would come into the studio. And normally her voice is really low and very just chill and calm. And then as soon as the mics went up, she was like,
Probably saves it up for that, right? So today being Teachers Day here in Korea, 스승의 날 is the day to celebrate, right? Respect and,
respect yourself.
be grateful, thankful for all the teachers. But unfortunately, it's a sad reality that being a teacher, it's not quite the job that a lot of people think it to be once they become one. So according to a survey, 80% of teachers, they had once thought that if they were to be born again, or maybe if they were to choose a career, teacher would not be one of them. Yeah. And 9 out of 10 said they are currently considering leaving their teaching job and seek alternative employment.
어려워서.
그쵸.
너무 힘들어.
맞아요.
It's really
많이 어렵죠.
It's a difficult job, a really difficult
그래서
job.
그만큼 대단합니다, 선생님들이.
맞아요. 다시 태어나도 선생님 되고 싶어.
Really?
No, I don't want to be like. I don't mean that. I mean like 다시 태어나도 선생님 되고 싶어라는 사람이
네.
1 out of 10.
Yeah. 10 to 20%. So 1 or 2 out of 10, which is not a great number.
No. If I was to be born again, I'd want to be a broadcaster and a teacher.
Me too. I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know, like I'd probably like go all in on one of them.
Really?
And
Which do you regret the most? Let's move on.
We'll talk off air.
An increasing number of students and teachers are actually finding school to be a difficult, uncomfortable place as well. And this is according to a lot of different statistics, a lot of surveys, especially teachers.
Yeah, roughly 2/3 of respondents pointed out to overwhelming administrative work and the country's misguided educational policies. So they don't think laws, measures, and support is given enough, right, by the government. And these are all leading factors to when it comes to teachers feeling like they're hindered when it comes to doing their job. Others mention things like ceaseless complaints, physical and verbal abuse by the students, right? This is quite a concerning thing as well by their parents.
Yeah, and on the other hand, based on a survey, the teachers who are most popular among students are those who are displaying genuine interest in them. Teachers who trust the students, communicate with the students. 학생들을 진짜 좋아하고 믿어주고 잘 소통하는 선생님이 최고라고
맞아요.
나왔습니다.
Also, teachers who have this knack for recognizing their students' talents and constantly, really seeking to improve their own expertise. How can I be a better teacher to these kids are also greatly admired. So, Laura, in light of Teachers' Day, do you have a teacher that you remember?
Life, baby.
Yeah, take that all of actual teachers that Laura has been under.
I've got a few teachers that I really appreciate for various reasons, but one of my favorite teachers was my second year. So I would have been in middle school, but in Scotland we don't have middle school, it's just primary school and secondary school. So I would have been, what age, 12 or 13, and it was my then English teacher. Her name was Ms. McKeown. And I loved the way that she explained everything. She was very honest, she was very candid, and she was absolutely nuts. She eventually got fired because she showed Juice Bigelow to first year
Juice
students.
Bigelow, male gigolo?
맞아요. And she showed it
Such
to
a family film.
12-year-olds. So she got fired. I had left school by that point, but she really inspired in me a desire to learn about communication.
Aw. Well, I would like to give a shout out to Miss Swanson from elementary school. She was my homeroom teacher when I was in 6th and 7th grade. She's the first teacher to give me a detention.
Oh.
And I will forever remember her by that.
Yeah.
But in a good way, she set me straight.
Did she though?
Nah.
Look at you now.
If
Really?
it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. Probably not here.
Let's move along.
네, 그래서 여러분도 선생님께 보내고 싶은 감사의 말씀, shout-out 있으면 저희한테 보내주세요. 저희가 전달해드리겠습니다.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget to send us your messages on the old NotTube. You can also send us messages at 샵9050 #9050 KakaoTalk, etc., etc. But now it's time for News Bites with Christine. Welcome back, everybody. Time for News Bites with Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hello.
Hi,
Happy
hi.
Teachers Day.
Happy Teachers Day.
What's going down
Yeah.
in Christine Town?
Both of my parents are professors.
Oh.
And I would say my dad, unfortunately, didn't like to teach. He just likes the research part. But my mom is such a lovely teacher. So she does everything. She actually calls her students her kids.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I really appreciate her because she does so much for kids who have been struggling or maybe have low self-esteem.
Yeah, well, that's the mentality I think all teachers should have. I know it's
Yeah.
taxing on them, right?
Yeah.
But as a parent, if I have a teacher like that for my kid, I'd be very, very grateful.
Because
and
I think
thankful.
teachers can have like a lasting impact on their students.
Well, for sure. They're the ones that see, our kids like half the time, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. So let's get to today's news. What do you got?
Well, I come bearing some bad news. So expect another rise in household utilities coming soon because of the high global energy costs and also the mounting losses of state utility companies that we've been talking about.
All right. How much more am I going to be paying?
South Korea announced today that it's going to raise the second quarter electricity rate and gas prices by 5.3% on year. So for electricity rate for consumers and industries, it will go up 8 won per kilowatt hour. And that's not as steep as what we saw during the first quarter because it went up 13.11. But it's definitely going to be felt. So this is what it means for your bills, Minsu. The fee hike is estimated to cost a 4-member household around 3,000 won per month. For electricity, for gas, it will go up by about 4,400 won per month.
All right. So any increase is probably something that not a lot of people want.
Yeah.
Why is this called a second quarter rate? Isn't there does that mean the third quarter is coming up?
Yeah, so actually the third quarter starts in a couple of weeks, but this is going to take effect right away. So starting tomorrow, it's going to go up. It's not going to apply retroactively for the most of second quarter where we didn't have this. Don't worry about that. But the government was supposed to give this second quarter utility rates in March, but it was postponed because it said that it needed further public comments before it made a final decision.
All right, so there you have it, folks. A 3,000 to 4,000 won increase. 그냥 쉽게 말하면 to your electricity and gas rates.
That's right.
All right, thank you so much. What's next?
Let's talk about an earthquake. Some residents across the East Coast today was startled early in the morning because there was a 4.5 magnitude earthquake that struck the eastern coast of Donghae City at around 6:30 a.m. And this is the 35th one in this area that they've experienced in the past 3 weeks. So a lot of shaking happening there. It's led residents to worry that maybe there might be stronger tremors coming as well.
So how far were these tremors felt? Because obviously I didn't feel anything. But how far were they felt?
Yeah, so apparently, it was not just Donghae, but nearby cities like Samcheok and Gangneung, but also in places like Yeongju and Andong, which are 110 kilometers away. Quite far.
Yeah.
One 60-year-old resident of Donghae said that, his bed shook and while he was sleeping and he wondered what was happening, but he got that, emergency text message and he went outside because he was scared. Other residents also reported similar things. They heard a thud and their bed was shaking around 6:30 a.m. And so it seems that it was quite startling for early in the morning.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
not a wake-up call that I want.
No.
No, thank you. Was this a strong quake compared to the other ones in South Korea?
Yeah, actually, this was the strongest one this year so far. And there have been 44 earthquakes of 2 magnitude or so that hit the peninsula, but this was the first one that was above magnitude 4. The last time we had a magnitude 4 earthquake was back in 2021 in Jeju Island. It was 4.9 magnitude.
Okay. Well, hopefully we don't see any bigger quakes.
Yeah.
Let's hope that was the last one. And
Here's hoping.
yeah.
All right, what's next?
Let's talk about the National Association of Nurses. They have vowed to hold the government and the ruling People Power Party politically accountable for their decision to ask President Yoon Suk-yeol to veto the Nursing Act. We've talked about the Nursing Act before, but earlier today, the ruling party and the government made this formal recommendation to President Yoon to veto the bill. And proponents of this bill are saying that, this is to improve nurses' working conditions.
All right, so let's get into detail about what the Nurses Association is planning.
So they released a statement over the weekend, and the Korean Nurses Association said that a total of 620,000 nurses will rise up against this humiliating assertion and punish those responsible for the accusation. They're reportedly looking into a campaign to surrender their licenses and join political parties. And even though previously they said there would be no collective action, the interim results of a survey by the association said that more than 98% support active collective action. So it looks like overwhelming majority there.
Okay. Why are so many nurses angered then by the Nursing Act potentially getting vetoed?
Yeah, so they're saying that this legislation was an election pledge by the president. It's been reviewed and passed in a legitimate manner through as many as 4 parliamentary reviews over the course of the past 2 years. And they're saying also that this decision by the ruling party and the health ministry, this is a groundless claim. and they're making false accusations that nurses are taking the lives of the public hostage with a unilateral legislative vote. But doctors believe that this bill could open paths for nurses to start their own clinics, while nurses' aides take issue with tying up their eligibility to high school graduates. So it seems that, there are different sides to the story as well.
Yeah, so lots of things to smooth over, between nurses associations as well as the government. So keep us updated on this.
That's right.
All right. What's the final piece of news today?
Let's go to Thailand because Thai voters have delivered a stunning verdict for a dawn of a new era, it seems.
Okay.
They voted in favor of an opposition party calling for radical reform to the current institutions. And this is the Move Forward group that they seem to be supporting. Early results show that, Move Forward exceeded every prediction, winning 151 of the 500 seats in the lower house. It's 10 seats ahead of what used to be the front runner, Pheu Thai, which is a party that was led by former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatра's daughter.
Okay, so I'm not up to date on Thai politics. What would it mean for Thailand?
So local political scientists is saying that, this shows that people believe Move Forward demand for change and many more people than they had predicted. They're saying that this is a political earthquake representing a significant shift in public opinion. And it seems to be a repudiation of the two military-aligned parties of the current government because currently Prime Minister Prayuth Chan-o-cha, he has taken power through a coup by ousting an elected government in 2014. So it looks like the country is calling for a change from that as well. The governing coalition only got 15% of the seats, while Move Forward got 30%. Yeah, so twice as much.
Yeah. All right. So a dawn of a new era.
The winds of change.
Yeah, in Thailand. So I'm sure, the changes are going to take place right away, with a country with probably years and years and years of the previous government and, just ways of thought. This is probably going to take some time, but the country decided as a whole that they want change.
Time for change.
That's right. Time for change.
All right, well, that'll do it for today's News Bites. Christine, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your Monday, okay?
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Time for change.
All right.
All right. This is Nothing But a Miracle by Diane Birch.
Getting tired of living for a moment. Getting tired of hanging on the line. I wake up every morning and I pull back the curtain and wonder if it's gonna rain or shine. Getting tired of thinking. Getting so tired of begging, getting tired of forgetting that there's two of us. I'm getting so tired of loving my man. I just don't give a damn. Just tell me, baby, why I'm holding on when your love is long gone. I got a good mind, so why don't you tell me why I can't say goodbye? Together, gotta stop telling myself that I can do no better. I gotta go out and maybe start meeting some new people. I gotta go out and buy myself one of those little black dresses, cause I'm so tired of this t-shirt. I'm so tired of crying off all my makeup. Getting just so tired of waking up with a lonely heart. don't you tell me why I can't say goodbye? Just tell me, baby, why I've been holding on for so long, and nothing but a miracle is gonna bring you back to me now. Oh, I can see it coming down the shadows. I can see it. It's coming through the window. It's coming through the windows. Oh, I can see it. I can see it coming down the ceiling. Oh, I can't escape it. Can't escape it. Oh, I can't escape it. Tell me why I've been holding on when your love is long gone. I got a good mind, so why don't you tell me why I can't say goodbye? Just tell me, baby, why I've been holding on for so long, and nothing but a miracle is gonna bring you back to me now. Oh, nothing but a miracle is gonna bring you back to me now. Oh, nothing but a miracle. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, nothing but a miracle is gonna bring you back to me now. Oh, no.
Diane Birch.
Nothing but a miracle.
Yeah.
By Diane Birch.
Do you know what?
What?
I keep forgetting, first of all, that it's Teacher's Day because I have got nothing except a lovely message from Brandon and Aidan. And also,
Well, we have other people chiming in.
well, I just got a message saying, are you coming for the dinner for Teacher's Day? I completely forgot that. I was supposed to do something for my professors.
Well, see, people had stuff ready for you. You just didn't bother
messages.
to. You just didn't bother to, remember.
No, it's not for me. It's for my professors.
Oh, so
뭐
you're
내야
celebrating. And you have to. 뭐 해야죠. 어떡해요. 교수님인데.
한 사람은 10만 원.
Wow, they really must like their teachers, right?
What? I don't have 10만 원. If I had 10만 원, I'd have the police watching it for safety. Anyway.
근데 손민희님 on our KakaoTalk saying,
Blah, blah, blah.
Laura is my teacher. Happy Teacher's Day. Thank you. Well, there you go.
미니님, hi.
네, Happy Teacher's Day to you. 그럼 됐어요. 이제 Laura 이제
Yeah.
삐진 건 아니죠? 네.
That's
미니님
it.
감사합니다.
That's it.
아마 누가 이 메시지 안 보냈으면 하루 종일 좀 삐져 있을 거예요. 섭섭했을 거예요, 많이.
Yeah, I'm always upset anyway. We got another message here from Ali Neem. You
네.
want to read that one too?
Let me pull it up because I closed it. Ellie, I see myself more as a facilitator of education rather than a teacher. I like to give my students the opportunity to think for themselves, to question, and want to discover more. When students ask questions, grasp concepts, and use what they're learning, I'm rewarded by knowing I make a positive difference. I love my career and would choose it again. Oh, Ellie, couldn't have said it better myself. I think, if you're a teacher and you see this on a daily basis almost, right, in your work, how can you not want to do better at your job, right? If the students are, what's that word? Reciprocating what you teach them, right? And they're showing you through their knowledge that you initiated, right? Must be an awesome feeling. Alan, thank you so much for sharing with us just your experience as a teacher.
Yes, indeed. Anywho, it's time for us to continue on.
Yes.
And we've got some weather and traffic for you.
We do.
We do.
So what's it look like?
I like your Scottish shirt today. It goes with your Scottish accent.
Oh, I was going to wear this as a skirt. But
It's a kilt.
oh, kilt, sorry.
Stop it. It's currently averaging 19 degrees Celsius here in beautiful Busan. Morning lows of 17, afternoon highs of 21 degrees. Summer-like heat will be sticking around all the way through till tomorrow. So do be careful during the day. Of course, it will be sunny and UV rays will be up high after lunch. Ozone levels also will be high. 내일 부산은 여름처럼 덥겠고요. 그래서 자외선과 오존 지수도 높겠습니다. 여러분 조심하세요.
네, when it comes to the transit traffic, congestion on Jungang Express from Daejeon Interchange going towards Baekyang Tunnel. And then also congestion on Suyong Gangbyeon-daero from Senta Middle School going towards Gwajeonggo. Slow-moving traffic on Beonyeonglo from Guso Interchange going towards Kumjang Police Station. Everybody,
Drive safe.
네,
All right. Shall we do it?
let's go.
It's the IOB 5분 상식. It's time for Inside Out Busan's 5분 상식, getting you in the know with some of the most trending, useful, and need-to-know words and expressions in the world. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
네, 오늘은요 스승의 날이잖아요. 그래서 오늘 스승의 날은 세종대왕 탄신일이 맞을까요?
Hello, everyone. I'm a teacher. That's strange that you just announced it like that, but there we are. Well, hey there. Why are you wearing hanbok? 곤룡포 costume today. Oh, who are you?
I am the great King Sejong, the fourth king of the Joseon dynasty.
Oh, King Sejong. Are you serious? What are you doing here?
I came here in a time machine. I was in the middle of my birthday party, and there were all these gifts for me.
Oh, King Sejong. Whoops, today is not Hangul Day, but it's a special day for teachers. It's not your day.
어허! Today is a special day for me. 짐에게도 오늘은 특별하노라. 바로 나의 탄신일이로라.
No. King Sejong, you've got it all wrong. 스승의 날이라고. Today's Teacher's Day for teachers. Like me. I'm a teacher. You seem to have misunderstood. Do you see all the parents here?
You mean presents?
Presents? That's
And you
what I meant.
prepared all
Yes.
these presents for me because it is my birthday. 기특한 지고 선물을 풀어보아라.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Oh, look at this. It's the latest tablet PC. It's all black. Ooh, I love it.
Oh, what is that contraption? 시커먼 게 거대한 벼루 잉크스톤 같구나. 당장 깨트려 버려라.
No. What are you doing, Sejong Daewang? That's mine.
어허, 무엄하다. 당장 버려. 세종대왕 말을 들어야지.
Sejong, what are you doing here? It's not your day.
I must have landed
Where did you get a time machine?
in Liverpool.
이정실? What is it?
네?
Who is it?
킹 세종대왕요?
세종대왕's 이정실.
Oh,
누가
you're going up an alley where
편정. It's the lady who was very smart.
you're going up an alley that I am not going to follow you.
나라 구한이 수시. Wait a minute, I gotta go back to the 역사는 흐른다.
그쵸. 가사 검색하면 바로 나올 거예요. 그렇게 가사 나와요? While you're thinking.
역사는 흐른다.
그거밖에 모른다. 그거밖에 모른다. 절대로 기억하지 않을 거예요. 근데 today's
나라
Teacher's
구한
Day.
이순신.
You've gone too far. 자, tell our listeners, Laura, when did people start celebrating Teacher's Day here in Korea?
I know. 장영실.
장영씨.
Thank you, 작가님.
아, 진짜.
아니 후.
네.
The World Teachers' Day actually falls on October 5th every year. Korea celebrates its own Teachers' Day, or 스승의 날, on May 15th. Now, the modern form of this holiday started back in 1958 when a group of Chungnam Ganghyung High School students visit. What is wrong with me today? Monday.
It's Monday.
And Red Cross youth visited their teacher who was ill in the hospital, and these visits gradually evolved into an observance that was held on May 26th. And then in 1965, the day was moved to coincide with the birthday of King Sejong the Great, which falls on May 15th. So Sejong wasn't wrong.
So Teacher's Day is falls on the real birthday of great King Sejong, right?
Yes.
Now, is there a special reason why King Sejong's birthday was designated as Teacher's Day?
Yes. So today is Teacher's Day, and it's the 626th birthday of King Sejong the Great. That's so cool.
Yeah.
626. I can't stop doing the voice. I love it. Since King Sejong invented Hangul and educated people, he was very much like a teacher. And he is still the most respected king in South Korea, in the
Yes.
history of South Korea. Thus, in 1965, the Korean government moved Teachers' Day from the 26th of May to the 15th of May, which is Sejong Daewang's birthday. And this was to honor his teachings and his contributions. And the day was made with the hope that teachers can be respected like King Sejong.
Yes, respect me like great King Sejong.
나라 구한 Who is it? 이순신.
네, 그거 맞아요. 그거 맞아요.
맞아요.
네, is Teachers' Day the birthday of great King Sejong? Yes, it is. Teachers' Day has been a staple on the calendar annually since May 26 of 1963. But 근데요, 한글을 만든 세종대왕이 우리 결의 스승이라는 의미로 1965년부터 세종 탄신일 5월 15일로 스승의 날을 변경했습니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었노라. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
아, 예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
아, 예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
아, 예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
오, 그래, 라디오.
네가 저번 주 심참인 것 같네.
22번 훈련병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
Sports Rewind.
Yes, everyone, time for Sports Rewind. Andrew's in the studio. Hi, Andrew.
Clicking and clacking
Andrew.
pens everywhere.
Yes.
Clickety clack.
Yeah. The Chinese
Wiggity, wiggity,
chicken.
whack.
That reminds me of the Bare Naked Lady song. That
Yes,
one
man.
that was really good.
Yeah.
Minsu is the Guang'an rap battle
Jay-Z.
over here. Yeah. There we go.
That first
How's
second,
everything?
Good.
Everything is awesome.
How's your Teachers' Day?
Everything is good when you're part of a team.
Well, Laura's just pun ready today.
Yeah, it's Monday.
I tell you what, I'm just on the edge today. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I heard you battling through that Obun Sanchik, and it was fantastic.
I couldn't even read the English. It wasn't even Korean. I was like, blah, blah, blah.
Those are the best days because when usually it's the opposite, and definitely for me that's where I would stumble is when I'm trying to do the Korean, but when you're trying to do the English, and that is not even
do
coming
it.
out right. But
Well, Laura, it's only
Anyway.
up from here. So
yeah, well, yeah.
Let's hope so. I don't know. I think it could go farther down.
Well, it's only down because after this it's the end of the first hour, and then you're on the home straight.
you crash. Right?
Yeah, but we are here for sports. and
Yes,
Sports
we are.
Rewind. So we're going to get things going here with some golf news. And the domination has continued for Koreans on the golf course and the men's and the women's this week. We have some two updates here. The first one is with Korean star Ko Jin-young has won her 15th career LPGA title in a playoff in New Jersey, rallying from a 4-stroke deficit to defeat Min Ji Lee of Australia in a playoff hole on Sunday. So congratulations to her. Fantastic. And it really seems like she's turned things around. She had an injury that, plagued last season, and she was, hit and miss, like pulling out of tournaments and would start them and then just realize her back wasn't into it. Had wrist injuries. It was an awful year that I'm sure she would like to forget, but probably has also grown from it. And this season, she's already got 2 wins in the bag. So hopefully it's smooth sailing from here on out. On the men's side, Korean veteran Kim Soo finished in 2nd place. So, okay, didn't bring home the title from the tournament in Texas on Sunday, but he finished just 1 stroke behind champion Jason Day in a bid for his 5th career PGA Tour title. Now, for him, he went bogey-free for a final round of 8 under. So I don't know if for anybody who's not a golf fan out there or doesn't understand, but to shoot 8 under on a Sunday is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's you might be getting 1, 2 under, but to get 8 under, but the guy that you're playing with shoots 9 under.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on. You couldn't even catch a break.
I was going to say, like one stroke by one stroke.
Yeah.
Right?
By one stroke. And then also in the women's, because Ko Jin-young beat Min Ji-lee just by a stroke, in a playoff hole. So it is some very, very fine margins even after 4 days of competition. But yeah, so both them, congrats to them, and moving on.
Bogey is the word for booger in Scotland.
Oh, there you go.
So golf is always a hoot.
I got a fat bogey
A fat
in my
bogey.
nose.
In my nose. Anyway.
You too. I never know what I'm going to get when I come in here.
Yep.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so we had some news involving the Korean national men's soccer team. Now, the draw for the Asian Football Confederation Asian Cup was held in Doha last Thursday, with Qatar set to host the competition starting in January of 2024. Now, this was I don't know, it's a bit of a touchy subject because Korea was in the running for this, and they ended up giving it to Qatar, I think, just because they had everything set up from the World Cup, and it was just, pretty much seamless. And then also maybe some money was involved. That's neither here nor there. South Korea, ranked 27th in the world, were drawn into Group E against Jordan, who are number 84th in the world, Bahrain, who are 85th, and then Malaysia, who are 138th. So, new manager Jurgen Klinsmann said, I think we have a good group. They're all very, very good teams. I think it's a doable group. Now, we expect ourselves to go through to the knockout stage and go all the way to the end of the tournament. It's a good draw for us. And I would agree with him on that when you look at those teams. But the only issue is when it comes to tournament football, anything can happen.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed. So, an injury here, someone, mishits a ball there's an own goal, and it could change the whole dynamics of things. So, we'll see how things go.
Well,
So-
just got to wait and see.
Yeah. Looking forward to the AFC. What about when it comes to baseball? I'm sure you have updates for us, right?
Yeah, the Lotte Giants last week, I sat here after, all that rain the week before, and there were 4 games in a row that were rained out, and we were all wondering, will Lotte be able to, get back on the horse and continue their winning ways? Well, last Tuesday, it didn't look like it. They lost that game, but they ended up having a pretty good week. 4-2 over the past week.
Not bad.
Yeah, really good. 2 games, or in the 3 games against Doosan here at home, they won 2 of 3, and then went to Suwon to play against KT, where they took 2 of those games as well. And to be quite honest, only looked better as the week went on. As a team, defensively, their batting is picking up. And as a lot of people are wondering, is this just luck from the Lotte Giants? I don't think so. I think it's consistency.
I mean, it's been going like this for the past 3 weeks?
Yeah, month and a half, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's consistency in the batting order, but also in, the pitchers coming from the bullpen. I think that's the biggest thing for them is to hopefully keep that going. And, we'll be seeing sitting here next week because they do have a massive, massive weekend matchup. They are away in Daejeon this week against the Eagles midweek before returning to Sajik Stadium this weekend to take on the SSG Landers, who are in the top spot in the league. So possibly, if things go as planned, we could be sitting here next week talking about Lotte maybe moving up in the standings.
Yeah. 우리 배용권님 saying this season performance of the Lotte Giants is so amazing.
I would agree with that.
And their record shows, right?
Yes, definitely.
Looking forward to more, hopefully, winning updates from Lotte
Yes.
Giants from Andrew every Monday.
I want to go
Yes.
and see a game this season. I've still not been yet.
Well, the thing is, I'm happy you said that. It reminded me about the tickets for this weekend. Friday, there's still plenty of tickets left. Saturday's sold out. All right. It's a Saturday 5 o'clock game. It's sold out. I think there's a special event with a brand going on. I think that's part of the reason. Sunday, there's still some tickets, but I checked yesterday and there were a lot, and I checked just before I came in, and it was significantly less. So if you're looking to go to a game this weekend, Sunday's probably your best bet, but, jump on that real quick because they might be gone.
Roger that.
Moving on to some sports history this week.
Yes.
And this one's going back, and there's a curse. I don't know if you guys believe in these kind of things. For some people, they think it's a bunch of blah, hogwash, whatever. Other people, especially the Boston Red Sox, believe in something that was called the curse of the Bambino. And we're going to get to a clip right now.
Curse of the Bambino. We all remember this one. Back in 2004, Boston Red Sox finally end the Curse of the Bambino, dated back all the way to 1918, when the team obviously sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees. New York went on to become one of the most successful franchises in all of sports, as we know, winning 26 championships during that span. The curse finally lifted when the Boston Red Sox came all the way back from being down 3-0 in that ALCS. Pretty impressive. So that's curse number one.
Curse of the Great Bambino.
Before we move forward, I have to. I'm wearing my gear today.
There you go.
For the Sox, I got my shirt on. Got my she's wearing a Yankees hat. I almost
Turf war.
Whoa.
Turf war in the studio, folks.
Okay, I feel like you're definitely overestimating the amount of attention I pay to the design on my hat.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I thought it meant I love New York.
Yeah. I think we've had this conversation before, and I think it's amazing. So, yes, this is The Curse of the Bambino is obviously for some people, talking about Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was sold to the New York Yankees back in 2019.
In your face, Red Sox.
1919. And previous to that, the Red Sox had won 4 World Series championships, and then they went 86 years before winning again. And there's things.
How you like them apples?
Yeah, exactly. In your life, there's times when people will ask you, where were you when this happened? For a lot of people, it'd be like when a president may have been assassinated or something tragic happened. In sports, I can remember a couple of things. The gold medal for Canada over the U.S. in the Olympics in 2010. And this in 2004 when the Boston Red Sox won the World Series and, reversed the curse, if you will.
Curse was broken.
The curse was broken, and it was amazing. Earns.
I remember this team. Big Papi.
David Ortiz, he kind of saved them so many times during that playoff run. And then also Johnny Damon, Martinez, and the list goes on. There was Kurt Schilling with the blood on his sock, came back from a surgery.
Question.
Yes.
What is a playoff run?
A playoff run would be from the start of the playoffs, the postseason. And if you go in a deep playoff run, it means you would make it until probably the end and maybe win. But if your playoff run was cut short, you get knocked out in probably the first series.
Got it.
All right.
Playoff stint. I guess we could call it.
Explain it to me as if I'm 5.
Yeah, well, playoff run means you start the playoffs and how many games you play.
Immediately when you said 5 years, when you said 5 years old, Andrew, his voice got really judging now.
Why?
It means
what is a playoff?
But the postseason, now I know you don't have this over in your side of the world, but just think of the Champions League when they get to the knockout stages.
Yep.
That would be essentially like it. There, that's the postseason. But instead of one game, it is a 7-game series. And they play, especially the World Series, it's a 7-game series, but they would play 2 games in a row, like one night after another, take a day off, and then play 3 in a row, then a day off, and then 2 more in a row. So everything is 7 games in, say 9 days. Yeah, so it's pretty big, but this was something for Red Sox fans. It was a heartbreak for many years of being into the postseason and the World Series and losing. But they went on a run after this. A run, meaning they had a good run of luck.
Had a good streak.
Yes.
I know what a run is.
A run. Yeah.
But I don't know baseball lingo. I wasn't brought up on baseball at all.
So a postseason or playoff run would be, I think that's an American sports thing as well, because you could use it in MLB, hockey, NFL. NFL is not really like that because it's like it's a one-off, like the Champions League, but yeah. And in basketball as well.
We all learned something today, Andrew. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for teaching us. And happy Teachers' Day to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And to all the teachers out there who put up with me for most of my life. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye, Andrew. All right, time for us to say cheerio. And we'll see you at 7 o'clock. This is Putting on the Ritz by Robbie Williams. Don't go anywhere.
And narrow collars, white spats of $15, spending every dime on a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Putting on the Ritz. spangled gowns upon the bevy of high browns from down the levee. All misfits are putting on the Ritz. And that's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows. Rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend the Jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits putting on the Ritz. Have you seen the well-to-do upon Lenox Avenue? On that famous
지그재그로 움직인대.
누가?
척추 라인에 맞춰서 움직인대.
누가?
누구긴 누가 엔모션 프로지. 척추를 지그재그로 틀어 꾹꾹 눌러주는 움직임. 누가의 시그니처 모션. 누가 베스트 엔모션 프로. 가까운 누가페에서 만나요. 의료기기 광고입니다.
Hello, this is Busan Immigration Office. Have you heard of Korea Immigration and Integration Program?
What is the KIIP?
The Korea Immigration and Integration Program, KIIP, is a social integration training program by the Ministry of Justice to help immigrants adjust to life in South Korean society. It helps them develop basic knowledge of the Korean culture, language, and understanding Korean society, among others.
So is this a Korean language education for foreign nationals?
The KIIP is comprised of not only Korean language and cultural education, but also of programs on understanding Korean society. Immigrants can learn basic knowledge across the entire Korean society through this program.
That's interesting. Are there any other bonuses to completing the KIIP?
There are multiple benefits for those who complete the program, including exemptions from permanent or citizen naturalization tests and bonus points for residence permits.
Well, I'd better hurry up and go sign up. Thanks for the information.
For details, please visit www.socinet.go.kr.
This was brought to you by Busan Immigration Office and BFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Inside Out Busan here at BEFM. Also on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because we're on YouTube.
Join us on our YouTube. We have a message that came in our YouTube from Super Party Pooper.
Because there's the green monster. Lol.
Which one of us is a green monster in the studio?
Wait, you mean jealousy?
No, actually, I think they're referring to this big wall in Fenway Park where the Red Sox play is referred to as the Green Monster.
Ah.
Yeah. So a little baseball. Now, the more you know, as I continue to teach you about baseball. Laura, I'm your sism for the day. Okay?
Thank you.
Respect me.
Name.
Say thank you.
Respect.
Yes.
Nice. Do you know what that reminds me of? Oh, goodness. 기생충.
Well.
But because the guy who's living underneath, he's like, respect.
맞아요.
To the guy up the stairs. Oh, 갑자기. Oh, 닭살.
조금 갑자기는
Oh.
좀 갑작스럽습니다.
7 o'clock.
Anyways, it is 7
Welcome
o'clock.
back.
7:01 to be precise.
Yeah.
What are we going to start with? Second hour.
Let's start with some on the mic, shall we?
Let's do it.
This is where our reporters head out and interview you. So let's see who's on the mic today.
All right, today I'm here with someone we're going to find out about their life in Busan. Hi, what's your name? 이름이 뭐예요? My name is Rocky. 한국 이름은 김희영 록입니다.
Oh, nice to meet you. 어디에서 살아요?
저는 전라북도 장수군에서 살고 있습니다.
but 오늘 부산까지 왔어요.
네, 오늘 부산에 여기 트레일러닝 30km 오산 종주 대회가 있다고 해서
예.
어제 밤에 3시간 동안 운전해서 와서 자고 오늘 아침에 이렇게 참여했습니다.
Oh, wow. So you drove 3 hours to get here. All right. So why did you come? 이런 대회 왜 하고 싶었어요? Why did you want to participate in Busan 5 Mountain Trail Run?
평소에도 이렇게 부산을 여행을 하고 싶었는데 그냥 매번 가는 뭐 해운대나 광안리 이쪽만 가보다가 산 구석구석 뛰어볼 수 있다고 해서 또 이렇게 참여하게 됐고 제가 워낙 달리는 걸 좋아하는데 그래서 부산에 대회가 있어서 참여하게 됐습니다.
Wow. So you've been to Busan, but usually you go to Haeundae or Gwangali, but you wanted to actually experience the mountain of Busan. And this is going to be 5 mountains, right? 오늘 5산 해야 돼요. 어떻게 준비해서? How do you get ready for something like this?
평상시에 좀 산에 많이 가려고 노력을 했었고요. 그리고 평일에는 로드 마라톤, 조깅을 많이 하면서 그렇게 준비를 해왔던 것 같아요. 주말에는 산에 가고 평일에는 그 동네를 그냥 조깅을 하면서 그렇게 준비를 했습니다.
And so, what kind of mountains do you usually train at? 어디에서 훈련해요?
전라북도 장수군에 있는 장안산에서 훈련을 많이 하고 있습니다. 장안산은 1237m까지 올라가는 산인데 사실 출발하는 데가 800m 거지예요. 그래서 한 오르막은 400m 정도 되는데 거기서 많이 훈련하고 있습니다.
Wow, great. And you're a little bit famous. 조금 유명한 사람이에요. In trail running. Can you explain 언제부터 trail running 시작했어요?
2015년부터 트레일러닝을 시작해서 지금까지 해오고 있습니다.
So why did you start?
그때도 오늘처럼 제주도에 대회가 있어서 그냥 여행 겸 한번 한라산에 뛸 수 있는 기회가 있다고 해서 별 생각 없이 신청했는데 너무 즐거워가지고 대회장에서 오늘 이렇게 사람들 만나는 것처럼 그때 처음 대회 갔을 때 많은 사람들을 만나고 그 달리는 것 자체에 너무 매력을 많이 느껴서 지금까지 계속 아마 평생 하지 않을까 이런 생각을 하고 있습니다.
Alright, so you started because you wanted to go to Hallasan Daehwae. You wanted to go up on Hallasan. That was your first competition.
Yes.
Wow.
네, 처음으로 갔습니다.
And now, how did you become so good at running? 지금 너무 잘 하고 있으니까 어떻게 잘해요?
그냥 꾸준히 러닝을 즐기는 마음이 중요한 것 같아요. 내가 어디 무슨 목표가 기록이라면 거기 기록에 계획을 세워서 차근차근 도전하는 데 또 매력이 있고 아니면 그냥 달리는 것 자체에 그냥 천천히 뛰는 것도 좋다. 그러면 그냥 달리는 것 자체에 즐기는 마인드가 조금 꾸준하게 오래 다치지 않고 할 수 있는 길인 것 같아서 각자의 목표에 맞춰서 계속 운동을 하는 것이 꾸준하게 하는 것이 가장 중요한 것 같아요.
Wow. Okay, and you've done some very big competitions. 진짜 큰 대회도 나갔어요. Tell us about what are the best competitions you went to. What are some of the ones you remember?
트레일 러너들에게 꿈의 무대라고 불리우는 UTMB라는 프랑스 샤모니에서 열리는 UTMB 171km를 하루 만에 달리는
171?
Yes.
Okay, you ran 171 kilometers at UTMB.
예.
어떻게 했어요?
그때는 40시간 30분 정도 걸려서 완주를
40
했는데
뭐? How many hours?
40 hours and half.
Did you 앉았어요?
중간에 보급소에서 쪽잠을 이렇게 잤습니다. 한 5분, 10분 정도 길가에 누워서 그냥 쓰러져서 눈 감았다 뜨면 5분 지나 있고 이런 식으로 잠을 잤다기보다는 쉬면서 계속해서 갔던 것 같아요.
와우, 사람 어떻게 UTMB 가요? 그냥 보통 사람 못 가요. 맞아요?
네, 그 100km 대회를 예전에는 제가 갔을 때는 3번 이상 완주를 한 사람들에게 그 추첨권을 획득할 수 있어서 신청을 하면 추첨을 통해서 갈 수 있는데 최근에는 그 UTMB가 시리즈 대회가 열려서 그 시리즈 대회에 참여하면 스톤을 얻게 되거든요. 그래서 그 스톤을 모아서 신청을 하실 수 있습니다.
와우. And 그래서 오늘 부산으로 왔어요. 옛날에도 유럽 갔어요. 제주도 갔어요. 앞으로 어디에서 트레일런 하고 싶어요?
저는 전 세계를 달리면서 이렇게 꾸준히 달리는 것이 목표고요. 그곳이 어디든 상관없이 대회가 있으면 언제든지 가고 싶은 마음이 있어서 항상 집에서도 뛰고 이렇게 대회가 있으면 어디든지 가서 뛰고 싶습니다.
오케이, 마지막 질문. 오늘 대회 끝나면 부산 있을 거예요. 오늘 대회 끝나면 뭐 먹을 거예요?
오늘 부산에 왔으니까 무조건 밀면 그리고 돼지국밥 먹어야 할 겁니다.
아우 부산에 와서 역시 밀면
진짜 그렇게
돼지국밥.
뛰고 밀면이랑 돼지국밥 엄청 잘 넘어갈 것 같아요.
배고파요.
Oh, I'd be so hungry after a long run. So today's open mic, not open mic, on the mic guest 우리 김영록님 also goes by Rocky.
따란딴.
맞아요.
따란딴. And a trail runner as well.
Not a boxer, but a trail runner. Yes.
He's traveled all over the world to do competitions,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously you heard him there on the mic with Tegan having done a big trail run.
Yeah. 40 hours he run in one of the races. And he mentioned, like, because you have to sleep, right? So Tegan asked him, like, how do you go about, like, resting? He said he just stopped in the middle of his run and take, like, a 5-10 minute nap, just, like, sprout out on the street. And then wake back up and then start running again.
I mean,
진짜 대단합니다.
why?
Because he's in a race. What are you trying to make him question his entire life, his identity as a trail runner?
Why, man?
That's what
Why?
you gotta do.
40 hours of running. Why? I've never done that in my life.
It's like, because
I've been alive for 40 years. I've never done 40 years of running.
you have to show that humans are capable of this kind of feat.
Why?
Right?
I go back to my
근데
original question.
말 들었죠? There's people that have run 100 kilometer long like races like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then they get this special like stone, this
But they
medal.
feel good about it, and the people
Yeah.
who love running as well. And I understand that because running does make you feel good. After I personally get past the 7-minute mark, like running up until 5 minutes, I'm like, yeah, man, I can do this. Minute 6 and 7, I'm like, God, why? No. And then after minute 7, I'm like, okay, the endorphins have kicked in,
Yeah, that's
and
what
I'm
they
ready to
call
go.
the runner's high.
The runner's high.
I've heard of this mythical phenomenon. Have yet to experience it myself. I mean, no, I do a lot of running when I play basketball and stuff, but it's different from like actual
It's different
running.
from sustained speed,
You know what I mean?
like
Yeah.
over a long distance.
But
His first contest was
Yeah.
actually in Jeju, climbing
맞아요.
Halasan. What?
Because he's a trail runner, like so you gotta like he was probably like gunning it.
But trail running is the ultimate punishment for lazy people like me. I don't just, if I'm going to run, I want to run on a flat surface with like nothing to worry about.
Hey, not lazier than me. If I want to run downhill.
But that's even worse. That's more dangerous. Bad for your knees.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Just run on a flat surface.
whatever takes less energy. Because if you're
Walk.
running downhill and you just give up, you can just roll.
Just roll
You
down.
could just let go.
Not going to happen like that. Unless you were running at like a really dangerous angle.
Sure,
Yeah.
right? Very steep.
But then he's also completed one of the most famous trail runs in the whole wide world, the UTMB 170 kilometers
맞아요.
in Europe.
And this one that he said took over 40 hours, right? So, 영노님, how do you do it? Like, your calves must be ripped.
I want to touch them. I want to poke them and see.
Like, his
compare it with
thighs
a
and his like
desk.
calf 완전 땅땅할 것 같아요. Like, just all muscle.
You got to get a
Right?
good massage on that afterwards.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
gonna
for
cramp
sure.
up.
Yeah.
Solid thighs.
영호님, enjoy. So after your race, enjoy your 밀면 and your
밀면 and
국밥.
돼지국밥.
네.
맛있겠다.
꼭꼭꼭 드시고 가세요. 네. Thank you so much. That'll do it for today's On the Mic.
On the mic. All right, let's have a song because Rocky Neem is amazing and he's doing all these trail runs. This is dedicated to you. Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. the Tiger by Survivor. Got the will to survive.
Of the tiger.
That's...
I didn't complete your lyrics. Whatever I felt like seeing at that moment.
Survive of the tiger. You got to cut out the eye of the...
Yeah, it's the
Just get right
summarized
to the
version.
point,
It's the
yeah.
summarized version of the
Exactly.
song. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
We Super Party Pooper getting active on our YouTube again, saying, feeling like I gotta call Adrian.
Do it.
Adrian! Adrian!
I thought it was Ezra.
Adrian?
Adrian?
You thought he was calling for Ezra?
I don't know. I just
Ezra! You mean Rocky's coach that talks like this? Rocky.
I don't know. I've literally
haven't
not
seen the
seen the movie for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Is it Adrian like
It's
that?
Adrian. Adrian!
It sounds like the Goonies. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys.
Anyways, Super Party Pooper, thank you so much. Fan of Rocky.
Fan
it seems like.
of you, Super Party Pooper. Bae Hung Kwon-님 texting in about Lotte Giant. I didn't mean that one.
오겹살 좋아님.
님 texting in. Why am I leaning over as if I can't move my seat? There we go. Hi, sports guy Andrew with the baseball. It's too late. I didn't read it during the time when he was in, so now it's the
오겹살
moment has
좋아님,
passed.
he got the message though. He saw it.
did.
He's very
He really
thankful.
did.
네.
신의 안내 김신 TV님,
네.
장영씨 고맙습니다.
Right.
And then I looked up the lyrics to 역사는 흐른다, and Minsu and I have been singing it.
근데 대단하진 않아요? 제 딸이 이제 한국 나이로 7살이잖아요. So like 5
Your daughter's 5.
right now.
Yeah.
Right? She's 5. She knows everything from front to back.
Yeah, so was my son.
It's amazing.
I thought it was 당근 할아버지.
당군
Yeah.
할아버지. The
당근
mythical
할아버지.
founder.
The mythical carrot founder, 당근 할아버지. Not to be confused with 당군 할아버지.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that song.
Yeah. Thank you and welcome.
Welcome to the show. Listen, you are tuned into Inside Out Busan on 90.5, 103.3 FM. Welcome to BEFM, 부산영어방송. Happy Teacher's Day today.
Have you hugged your teacher today? Oh, no, I'm not asking you. I'm asking just the listeners in general.
Okay. I was going to say, no, I haven't. It's not appropriate.
Yeah, it's because I was going to say, you got to ask first,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But I saw my daughter coming out of Yuchuan, like all the kids, they decide to give their teacher a hug on the way out.
I love that about Korea. Little kids love to hug the teacher. Like I did a class. Oh, when was it? I did a class on the beach a couple of weeks ago. And at the beginning of the class, I've got to act like a fool so the kids love it. And then during the class,
Did you like
they
throw sand in your mouth?
follow-
Ah, look at me. Everything's sand.
I
Ah.
say I had to act like a maniac. I had to act the fool. And so I was doing all these things and just being funny and having fun. And then they all got really confident and we were playing. And then at the end, they all like run up to me and hug me and just want me a lot of hang off my legs and things. I love that. I love
Yeah.
being able to just give love to those little buddies.
Yeah. It's, that kind of dog pile I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Right? If it's a dog pile of
It's
kids.
so cute, but then they ride you, and it gets less cute as they get older.
딱 그 순간만. 딱 거기까지만 좋아요. Well, hopefully if you're a teacher out there, just, on behalf of all the students here in Korea, we thank you for all your hard work.
Very much indeed. You can join us and check us out on YouTube if you want to see what we look like in person this Teacher's Day, or you can just tune in to BEFM on the radio and you can just listen to our voices.
Yeah.
Treat for the eyes and the ears, or neither. Depending on who you are. Anyway, let's look at the weather. It's currently 19 degrees Celsius on average here in Busan. Morning lows of 17. I had to swallow.
No, because I'm reading the next line in your script. Make sure you read that as is, okay?
Okay, I'll read it as is. Morning lows of 17, afternoon highs of 24 degrees Celsius. It was 21 degrees an hour ago. The weather is changeable, ain't it? You may have to wear a short t-shirt tomorrow afternoon because of the weather like summer. Take extra care when out in the sun due to rising levels of UV rays. UV levels are very high.
Yes.
So let me choose your fashion for you.
Make sure that the short t-shirt only comes up to your belly button.
What?
All right? That would be a
short
short
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
배꼽 티?
A crop top.
좋아. 내로호는 반팔을 입으면 정도
네,
좋겠고요.
짧은 발판이요.
그리고 짧은 발판, 뭐 배꼽 티도 입으셔도 되고, 네 편안하게.
좋습니다.
자외선도 높겠습니다. 조심하세요, 여러분.
네, 근데 그 정도 어느 곳에는 그 정도 더웠어요.
네.
Right?
맞아요. 오늘도 진짜 더웠어요.
맞아요. 내일은 더 덥겠습니다.
덥겠습니다.
덥겠습니다. Onto our traffic, we have congestion on 충렬대로 from Dongdae Junction going towards Daeseong Junction. Also congestion on 중앙대로 from Busan City Hall towards Yeonsan Junction. Slow moving, yes, Busan.
Sorry.
아니에요. You made me lose my. You made me lose my place.
Just can't help
Why
it.
did you have to use that word with
out.
with verbal too? Anyway, slow moving traffic on Nakdong Namlo from Seongsan Three-Way intersection going towards Gangseok Police Station. Everybody.
I'm driving. I'm losing it over here. Everybody drive safe. That's a
네.
serious thing. Drive safe.
Of course.
Okay. Now it's time for something completely different.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. 월드와이드.
Worldwide. Whatever. Whatever.
Worldwide. Whatever.
Yes, time for worldwide whatever.
이게 좀 괜찮아요?
No.
No.
Listen.
I wonder what it is.
I'm so sorry in advance, but I'm just like out of my mind. PDD was on the phone with some important like scheduling work during the song break.
She was trying to like negotiate contracts and stuff.
She's very important. She's got some deal with I don't know who anyway. So she was on the phone and I was looking at her on the phone and I just burst. I am the tiger. I can't help it.
You subconsciously told yourself, I'm going to ruin this person's day today.
But you just said Busan, and for some reason my mouth just said Busan. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It didn't bother me as much.
That's the risk. See, when you become a broadcaster, you have to talk so often that it just becomes part of the normal thing. So sometimes I'll sing or talk to myself without even realizing that I'm doing it.
Really?
So I apologize.
I guess for me, still, it's not a natural thing. So I have to come when I do the show. It's not as natural as it is forced. Wait, does that make sense? So I have to like force it out.
Really?
But when I'm back home, I'm like loud and playful when I need to be, but just in my element, like super quiet.
Is that what's going to be on your gravestone?
Wait, what is?
Not so
'Cause I
much
said a lot.
natural as it is forced. Loud and playful when I need to be.
Yeah, bunch of quotes. You could quote me on that. all
Spike
right?
Milligan. What was it, Spike Milligan? Or maybe it was somebody else said, I told you I was sick.
I only know Mulligan from golf.
Really?
I don't know any
Not
other
the same.
Mulligans.
We're really spiraling.
Anyways.
22. Welcome to the show. You're tuned in to Inside Out Busan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Worldwide Whatever.
Yes,
Bintu.
this is the segment that I lead, bringing you news that didn't make it into Christine's headline-making news cut for News Bites.
Just randos.
Yeah.
Just randos.
A lot of clickbait. No, not clickbait, but
That's my favorite kind of bait.
it's just news that's been making the rounds, and that I find interesting. Hopefully, our listeners find interesting as well.
I think it's not just me that's having a Monday. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, it's getting to that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we get to my first article?
Sure.
It's a good one too.
Okay.
The title reads, "World's oldest dog turns 31 in Portugal." The oldest, goodest boy.
잠깐만. I need to see this old 할아버지. 보자.
네. Just type in Bobby. Bobby from Portugal. That's the
B-O-B-I.
dog's name, Bobby. So the world's oldest dog, a Portugal canine named Bobby, is celebrating
Is it
his...
not Bobby?
I think it's Bobby.
Like Bobby, like just Bobby.
Like Bobby would be like with the two B's. This is B-O-B-I.
Bobby.
Yeah. I like the sound of Bobby better than Bobby.
Really?
Celebrating-
In Scotland, you don't want to say that word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why Bobby's in Portugal.
That's good.
Right? Bobby celebrating his 31st birthday, the goodest boy ever, and now the oldest goodest boy. Bobby was born back in May 11th of 1992.
What a sweetheart.
Now, listeners, I don't know if you grasp the concept of a dog living to 31 years.
He must be dog tired. Ugh.
Right? So actually, Bobby was named world's oldest dog living and the oldest dog ever So Bobby had 2 titles when he hit 31, right? And this is, of course, a title given by Guinness Book of World Records. Bobby, so if you want a little bit background of Bobby, Bobby has lived in the village of Conqueros with his owner, Lionel Costa, for his entire life. So the owner, right, has since the age of, I'm doing my math, since the age of when he was born.
Mm-hmm.
No, right when Bobby was born, Lionel was only 8 years old, right? So Costa said, the owner said, you know, they had a party for Bobby to celebrate his birthday. And now I read this and I was shocked and I questioned actually my life because at Bobby's party, there were more than 100 guests, including fans flying in from other countries, attended his birthday.
To celebrate such a good boy. Look at him. I'm watching a little video. He's just like such a, so sweet.
Yeah.
He's looking in the dirt. He's sniffing.
He does what all dogs like normally. I couldn't like tell. I mean, because obviously he's moving kind of slow. I could tell he's old, but
He's friends with cats. Look at that. He's got a little cat friend.
왜냐면 at this point, 31 years in dog years,
Too tired.
Too tired.
But he's not.
Just gives
He's like
up.
really active.
Yeah.
He's just running around. Well,
왜냐면
waddling.
Do you know how 31 years old in dog years is compared to human years? You basically multiply
By 8.
by 7.
By 7.
Yeah. So if you multiply 7 to 30,
210.
that's crazy, isn't it? That's how they equate dog years and human years. So
look at his
Bobby,
face.
you know, being, if you were to compare it to a human, more than 200-year-old human, which is not physically
He's got little
possible, right?
gray whiskers on his nose.
Yeah. But can you imagine Bobby living for 30 years? That means he's seen entire generations of the family that he has lived with since he was a puppy, right? So Bobby's owner, since he was 8 years old when Bobby was born, sees his dog as a link to his previous generations of his own family. So to quote the owner, Bobby is special because looking at him is like remembering the people who are part of our family and unfortunately are no longer here, like my father, my brother, or my grandparents who have already left this world. So Bobby represents generations of his family. Isn't that, it was so touching when I read that.
So sweet.
To embody generations of a family in this old dog, that gives it such, like, I mean, you know, dogs important, you know, sometimes even as much as humans to some people. But after reading that, it's like a invaluable, you know, part of the current, you know, Costa's family, just all in the 31-year-old dog of Bobby. And that was just so cute as well, just so heartwarming, and long live Bobby.
Long live Bobby.
Looking at like the pictures and photos I've seen of him, and he's running around being very active.
He's so sweet.
Like I could see him living for, I don't know, like 2, 3 more years even.
He's got like little cat friends. He looks like a sheep, except a brown sheep.
맞아요.
Aww.
But I did notice, you know, hanging out with cats, like he's saying, I'm too old for this. I give up, right? Let the cats have their ways.
Oh, Bobby, happy birthday.
Yeah, so the world's oldest dog turning 31 in Portugal.
Look at that face.
Bobby.
Uh-oh, that's an unfortunate picture.
Of Bobby.
Whoops.
Anyway, so that was my first article. On to article number 2. This is the more controversial one that I actually wanted your take as well as other listeners. Listeners, if you have your take on this subject that I'm about to read, this article, feel free to share because I really want to hear your thoughts on this. So my next article reads, TikTok users' unethical plane life hack to punish reclined seat passengers goes viral. Okay? So a lot of people are traveling these days, right? There was an incident on an airplane in which a person did not like the fact that the person sitting in front of them had reclined their chair all the way, thus hindering, you know, the poster from using their table. What do you call the not in-flight table? What do you call those things? Their table, seat tables.
Yeah.
Right. So what they did, because this person wanted to get back at a person that refuses to, you know, put their seat at least a little up so I could use the table, they decided to turn on the overhead AC that you have on the air conditioner on planes, have that pointed towards the person's head whose seat is reclined.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a revenge tactic, right? Because, well, if you're going to recline your seat and not let me use my table as comfortably as I want, I'm going to, get back at you by blasting the overhead AC onto the top of your head.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I don't like that.
So this sparked a debate actually online. Who's in the right? Is it right for the person to recline their seat all the way back like that? Or is the person right, for, I guess, getting back? Because if you think of it, they're using the AC however they want because it's their AC. It's over their head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's really just that's not cool, man. That's just not cool.
It's not cool on both sides, I think. So let me give you some of what people are commenting on the situation, right? So the video, it's re-sparked this age-old debate about whether plane passengers should have reclining seats, right? Some users have said recliner seats are there to recline. So basically, that person is in the right to recline their seat however they want. And then some people to that say, well, air cons are there to aircon, meaning they're air conditioned.
But here's the thing. If you are reclining your chair, which I think you have every right to do, and it causes, it shouldn't be causing an issue to the person
sitting behind you.
And if that person wants to use their table, there's enough space, because I've been on plenty of flights, there's enough space to use your table even if someone's reclining. It might not be as comfortable as you would like, but listen, a flight is not comfortable. So being able to say, excuse me, could you please sit up a little bit while I use my table?
Yeah, I mean, you could ask, right? But the planes that you were on probably are the more modern, up-to-date ones, because no matter how far the person sitting in front of you reclines, the table's position stays as is. So it's only the cushion part that's reclining. It's not the table angle. So the table is a part of the frame of the seat, which does not move. So you could use the table however freely you want because it's only the seat that's reclining.
Yeah.
But there are older seats. I mean, there are older planes with, not updated seats whose tables recline with the chair.
Ah, really?
I'm not going to name any airline specifically, but I know a lot of the airlines in America, the U.S., do fly older planes compared to, let's say, the ones here in Korea or, Europe.
What kind of crazy airline is going to make a table that spills your drink if the other person reclines?
I mean, I think it doesn't drop it. Right, it maybe pushes it more up, more towards you, more closer to you, and plus you have a seat kind of more in your face, right?
Well, then you just recline. Just everybody recline.
Then the person in the way back, gets
they recline too.
Tail end
That's
of
my
it.
favorite seat to sit in, is the
Really?
one right at the back, because nobody's going to annoy me if I recline my chair, and I always recline my chair because I want to sleep.
Yeah. So there are people, that have gone the other way. So others argue that the recline distance is marginal. It doesn't offer real comfort. So passengers should be considerate of those who sit behind them, saying, I pay for a seat that reclines, or I pay for a seat with a usable table. You reclining takes away my usable table. So people who support seat reclining cited a number of reasons as to why they need the space, including, maybe you're just too tall, right? Or you have back conditions or neck aches, but not all receive the same sympathy, okay? So, Laura, if you were to run into this situation, you would ask, let's say you're sitting behind the person that's reclining, you would ask them nicely because you want to use a table.
I would double check and see if they were reclined. If they're reclined, I'm not going to ask.
To move?
Yeah, so if I want to recline and the person behind me, I'll double check and I'll have a look and I'll see that person.
Oh, okay.
And if they're already reclined, I won't ask them. I'll just recline.
Okay, so you're gonna look. So you're in the position of you're gonna recline.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see the
So
person.
I'm going to see them. I'm going to see if they're already reclined. If they are, I won't ask. I'll just recline my chair. If they're not reclined, I'll mention, I'll say, is it okay if I recline my chair? And if they say no, I'll be like, oh my God.
This is wrong and this is unethical, right? What if you were the person behind and the person in front of you had reclined their seats and you're table usage is very uncomfortable.
Then I will complain to the flight attendant and say, "Excuse me, fix this."
So you wouldn't solve it yourself.
No, I wouldn't complain. Do you know what? Everybody needs to be comfortable, and sometimes that means that some people have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've been on flights where, I have a kid, right? So I have 2 kids now, actually. Life is all about being uncomfortable and putting up with it. That's how you get resilient. So especially, people who are reclining their chairs, I think, God, everybody's dealing with something. Everybody's tired. Everybody needs just a bit of consideration, a bit of peryo, right? Everyone needs to be loved. So if someone really needs to recline their chair without asking me, they're obviously having a difficult life. And if they're going to complain about it, then they obviously need the reclining chair more than I need my table. I can eat with my hands off a little table that's pushed close to me. Also, I think because I'm quite small, it doesn't affect me as much.
Yeah.
So I'm 5'2", I'm like 160 centimeters and about 50 kilograms. I'm not that big. So even just a small chair, an economy chair with a reclined seat in front of me and the table out, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. So according to the FAA in America, this problem doesn't happen a lot these days because a lot of airlines have updated their seats, right? But they do get incidents, especially on the older planes, of people, even like getting to physical fistfights over this type of incident.
That's nuts bananas, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life if you're going to start a fight on an airplane?
But
Stop it.
as you said, the airport is one of the most stressful places.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned like how when some people upload like like an IG post or like on their tweets, then they complain about just about life in general. A lot of it comes from
people love to complain though.
When they're at the airport.
People love to complain.
Right. So everybody, on pins and needles, I guess, when it comes to just their
You mean
times.
eggshells?
Or eggshells. When do they use pins and needles for?
When your arm goes dead.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, that's pins and needles.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever that. 그 정도 느낌일 수도 있어요.
Okay.
When you're at the airport or when you're on the plane, I think we just need to just kind of take a step back and just ask yourself, do I really want to make a scene?
Do I want to pick this?
Do I want to make this a problem?
들이마시고 내쉬고.
조금 me time도 가지시고요.
네.
Me time 먼저 갖고, if you need to, you got to do it.
근데
if you need to, you got to do
거는-
it. But after that me time, if you tell yourself, 이 정도는 참을 수 있다. Just let it go.
I think here's the thing. We're all on a flight. No, it's not a particularly comfortable place to be. And so because of that, we all have to just be, number one, aware that everyone's a little bit uncomfortable. And number two, just kind as possible to everybody because everyone's in the same situation.
Yeah.
And so don't take anything personally. It's not personal. It's just people who are trying to get a little bit of extra comfort. And especially, don't be giving your flight attendants any kind of trouble. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
Don't be the person who's like, I don't know what they're doing. I've seen so many videos, especially during COVID, and it was just so cringeworthy and embarrassing, and I felt so bad for all the people who had to deal with these troublemakers.
맞아요. Just to give you a heads up real quick, as I finish off today's segment, they did say incidents that take place on the airplane and people, take pictures of it, videos of it, and then put them on social media. Incidents that take place on airplane are more likely to go viral.
Yeah.
Than other incidents.
And then, do you know what they do as well? Some companies actually fake them to get likes and to get views. They fake those viral moments.
That's illegal, it sounds like.
I don't know how I feel about that. Can we just take a moment? First of all, thank you, Minsu. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
I liked it a lot.
Listeners, you're welcome.
Let's look at the comment section of the YouTube channel because we've got a lot of things going on.
네.
Jade Neem saying it's a very touching story about Bobby.
About Bobby?
The little dog who's the oldest. 백주현 Neem texting in saying, Hi, 일 끝났어요. 지금 배고파요. And then 업요살 조아님.
주연님, 저희는 일 안 끝났는데 배고파요. 어떻게 하죠?
근데 이거 보세요. 방송 들으며 저녁 메뉴 고민 중인데 다들 메뉴가 뭔가요? 도와주세요. 오겹살.
서로 이렇게 얘기하고
I
계시네요.
love it. 국구야님 says, 오겹살님, what about 부대찌개? Jade님 says, great idea, Laura. And then, 부대찌개. Sounds good. Dance.
부대찌개.
Look at them all just chatting to each other.
진짜 딱 부대찌개 딱 상상하니까.
Yeah.
That would hit the spot. Like right now, right at this moment.
먹고 싶어요.
Like this is piping hot bowl.
시킬까?
부대찌개? 근데 여기 부대찌개 우리 스튜디오에서 먹잖아요.
봅시다.
그리고 여기 잘 보시면 우리 스튜디오 벽은요, it's made out of like this fabric. 분명히 냄새가 it would not leave this room for like a good month.
Listen, well, the 4 p.m. Joe can get a taste of their own medicine then.
Why? What have they been eating here?
냄새, 그냥 냄새.
우리 on our 카카오톡 우리 Brandon and Aiden님, Laura's hat is so pretty.
Thank you.
I guess I see it.
부대찌개.
Right?
Look at that. 244 meters away.
244 meters away. 진짜 부대찌개 검색을 했어요. Well, 우리 people on our YouTube, well, there you go. Today's menu is 부대찌개합니다. 네, 부대찌개 sounds good. Thanks to 오겹살 좋아요님.
Yeah.
우리 마지막으로 우리 제이님, 생 민수님 표정이 리얼하심. 저는 항상 리얼합니다.
Yeah.
제이님, 절대로 이거 액팅 아니고요. I'm always real with you, the audience, the listeners. You're welcome.
This is Sunflower by Post Malone. I want to dedicate this to one of my students who is always so sweet to me and always gives me big hugs when I see him. And this is his favorite song, I think. So, Sean, thank you for being such a good student for this old, cynical, weirdo teacher. Love you.
Needless to say, I keep a check. She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck. Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Needless to say, I'm keeping a check. She was a bad, nevertheless. Calling it quits now, baby, I'm a wreck. Crash at my place, baby, you're a wreck. Digging in a bad way, losing your grip. Screaming at my face, baby, don't trip. Someone took a big L, don't know how that felt. Looking at you sideways, party on tilt. Ooh, certain things you just can't refuse. She wanna ride me like a cruise, and I'm not trying to lose. Then you're left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'd be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower. Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no. Wish I could be there for you. Give me a reason to. Every time I'm walking out, I can hear you telling me to turn around. Fighting for my trust and you won't back down. Even if we gotta risk it all right now. I know you're scared of the unknown. You don't wanna be alone. I know I always come and go, but it's out of my control. And you'll be left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'll be left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
안녕하세요. 차가운 도시 남자 Inside Out Busan writer Steve라고 합니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan's listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권을 받을 수 있습니다. A place to entertain your brain and eyes, Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee, whole beans, sponsored by Into Roastery in 양산. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 Into Roastery 원두 커피. 커피 향 좋다. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. Admission tickets for the Busan Next to Sky top floor observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 Next to Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. 저랑 같이 가실까요?
Time for 호기심 천국.
호기심 전국 시간입니다.
천국! And this is where we bring you some things that we're curious about and we try to resolve them. Try to resolve them in a more...
Why? Because it's like it's wrong to be curious about stuff?
We
What is your
resolve-
problem? Why
we
are you
res-
curious?
We resolve those 호기심s.
네.
We hoagie the shim.
Yes.
That's
well, we're
why
gonna
it's-
hoagie a big shim today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And today, because we use our voices all day, right? You're a teacher, I'm a
Sure.
teacher.
Sure.
We are both on the radio. We have to use our voices a lot. And recently, just at the weekend, I emceed a wedding. And the guy said to me, one guy said to me, wow, I felt like they actually hired a real MC. I was like, well, that's good, because I am.
Because it was an all-one
And he's like,
act.
okay, that's why your voice sounded so comfortable and so, what was it he said? So comfortable, so reassuring and calm. And I was like, oh, thanks very much. And then I thought about it. Normally, even when our voices are like high energy and excited and all that, it still doesn't sound uncomfortable. And that's because we are not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But think about times when you do feel uncomfortable. What happens in your throat?
Oh,
You get a
I
lump
choke
in your
up.
throat, you get
Yeah.
choked up. And I was like, why? Why is that? So let's take a listen to today's clip.
Research is now starting to prove what voice clinicians have known for decades, and that is that stress affects the voice. In experimentally induced stressful situations, be it public speaking, or hearing a loud startle sound, or having cold water put on your body, that the muscles around the voice box and the muscles actually inside the voice box, the vocal folds, they react. Now, in my extreme example of a high-pitched, breathless sound, study after study, it's been correlated with the perception of anxiety. But not only anxiety, not being competent, not being strong, our voice can either conceal or reveal our emotions. Make sure what you say is how you want to be perceived.
That final line. What you say what you want to say, and how you want to say it, because that's how you want to be perceived, right?
And so I was saying, so this is from TEDx Shorts, actually. So that was quite a short one. And she goes on. I mean, there's a full talk about it. But I was just thinking, can you ever remember a time where you didn't feel comfortable on the radio and how that felt in your voice?
I mean, like when we have like technical difficulties, right? And we have to fill that time because let's say a song didn't go out where it needs to, or we just have like a
Terrible producer. Yeah.
And basically we have to fill that time with talking, right? I find myself, if I have to scramble to say stuff, right? If I'm trying to come up with stuff like literally on the fly, which we do on a daily basis, but if I'm in like a very stressful situation, I'm trying to do it on the fly, I get a little short of breath for some reason, right? And yeah, I could see myself, or I hear myself, and my voice sounds a bit more airy. So there's not a lot of like oomph behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do, of course, in a person's situation, I think their voice, you know, and how they are perceived because of their voice can totally change given a situation the person's in.
Yeah. I was I completely agree, and obviously there's science to back that as well. So when you are stressed, when the body is experiencing stress, the vocal folds and the vocal cords react. And there's an experiment that they've done many times, but they have these sensors, I guess, clipped to your throat. And what it does, it measures the, I guess, tone, intonation, like all of the different 특징 characteristics of the voice, depending on the various stressful activities. But it's so interesting because things that are physically stressful, things that are mentally stressful, it just affects the voice in such a profound way. But then why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
It's not even stress. I think even in like a good situation, happy situation. Like for example, this is maybe more of like a mental thing than like an actual physical, like how your body and your throat reacts to like a stressful situation. You know, when we're talking to like kids and babies, what usually happens?
Hiya!
Yeah, our
voice goes up like this.
And I feel like this is more of a mental response, a mental reaction to seeing something that's cute, like a baby or like a kid, or when you're like, you're playing, right, with your child. Our voice, like, it goes up a couple like keys.
Octaves.
Yeah, octaves, right? And I thought that was interesting. Why do we do that? Do we think that this is, something that the kids want to hear?
And that's the thing, right? So I speak to my daughter normally the way that I would speak to like any adult man. All right?
If you speak to your daughter the way you speak to me here in the studio,
we're in trouble. No, but there's a lot of the times I'll sing to her, I'll make stupid noises, and I'll make my face really, really expressive. And so she reacts to it, obviously. And then I speak to my son in a different way. So I speak to him because he's a different person. So he needs to be spoken to differently. And then I use my voice so much, but there's so much power in the voice. And it is easy to convey exactly what I want to convey with that low tone, that talking like this, and da-da-da. And as a meditation teacher, I need to be able to take my voice all the way down here and relax and da-da-da. And also, as a yoga teacher, I need to say, all right, let's stand up, hands together. As a kids teacher, I've got to be like, right, everybody, let's go. So it's such a powerful instrument. And I think people forget how important the voice is for communication. Not the words necessarily, but how we use the voice. So when we're communicating that we're scared, we can't really control it. Because the voice will change. But we can control it if we're able to control the voice. We can not express that we're scared. But I was just thinking about how powerful it is to be able to make sounds with our mouth, with our voice, with our vocal cords. You think about animals. Like animals growl, they bark, they whine, they make noises.
They neigh.
They do all that. Yeah, they do all those things. My daughter does this, and she's 8 months. Because she's just practicing using that sound and the way it resonates in her, like through her ears, through her skull.
Yeah.
She's just practicing and likes to hear that sound. And I was just thinking, wow, why do we not pay more attention to how we can communicate with our voice rather than the words?
Because if you think about it, it's because to be a person in society and to, follow the rules and everything, social rules, it's so hard. Now to also add on top of that, the tone and sound of your voice, how that could change relationships, right? It's so, you realize that, why is it so hard to person, right? Why is it so hard to people?
So I have a challenge for everybody. I have a challenge for every single person. Next time you have a conversation with someone, and obviously I don't mean us three, but next time you have a conversation with someone for the first time in a while or like first thing in the morning, just notice yourself. How are you speaking? Are you speaking kindly? Are you speaking using your voice to say kind things, but maybe not using a kind tone? Or are you using your voice to say kind of not so kind things, but using a kind tone. Like, how are you using your voice to communicate what you want?
Yeah.
That's my challenge to you.
My wife pointed out whenever when I first met her, and of course I was, very nervous, stressed sometimes, like in a good way. Like she said, my Korean and my English speaking voice would be very different. Korean would be kind of like high up because I'd be speaking to her in Korean. And when she hear me speak English, you sound more relaxed and it's more very low tone. So different situations and even different languages call for different tone of voice.
Absolutely. I've got like 3 different tones of voice in Korean. I've got my actual voice when I'm speaking to like my friends, and I've got this. 네가 뭐라고?
The 아재 voice.
아재 voice. And then I've got 네 어머니, 네 안녕하세요, 네.
짜증나는 voice.
And then I've got my speaking to kids. 친구들 이렇게 왜 하는 거야?
Oh, that's your nuttuber voice.
That's my 맞아요.
For the kids.
친구들 꼭 구독 좋아요. 네, 고맙습니다.
너무 natural하다. 너무 natural해. Interesting. So the way our voice is basically helps us socialize. Yeah.
Indeed. Gift receiver of Gift receiver of the day is Ali Neem. Congratulations. Final song, Nobody's Fault by Benny Sings. Today's show produced by Cho Yoon-jin, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluskey.
And me, Min Soo-shin.
Happy Teacher's Day. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
To the end of the road. Hey, what can you say? It's better this way. It's time to sing your song. So I'm letting you go, my darling. Wait till it's over. Wait till it's over. Wait till it's done. Till it's done, 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 done. No more talking. No more talking. Nowhere to run, right now. Nowhere to run. Wait till it's over. Wait till it's over. Wait till it's gone. Till it's gone, 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 gone. No more talking. No more talking. It's all said and done. Said and done. Hey, I understand. It's not the end. This life's not what you wanted. And we all gotta grow, my darling.
지그재그로 움직인대.
누가?
척추 라인에 맞춰서 움직인대.
누가?
누구긴 누가 엔모션 프로지. 척추를 지그재그로 틀어 꾹꾹 눌러주는 움직임. 누가의 시그니처 모션. 누가 베스트